Yo, what's good everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood Flocka here to show you how to build this friendly neighborhood home in LEGO Fortnite. This building is definitely not structurally sound because it's got a tree growing through the wall, but that doesn't matter. It's gonna look great in your worlds, and the hope is that at least one person becomes a more confident builder from this tutorial. Let's get right into the video. I'm gonna start off by using 8 16 by 16s. I'm actually gonna go up a third layer because today I wanna show you how I do my texturing. My first ever build was the treehouse cave, and it was my first taste at free building. And ever since then, I've been sort of using that build style in everything that I create. And then today I'm gonna try to explain how I decide where some of the pieces will go to make that natural look into the world around it. So sorting out the pieces, I'm just gonna look through here and see what I can come up with. And I'm testing things in case I haven't seen them before. So for me, this red is really vibrant. I want to keep this to a minimum, so I'm going to try to use this as trim. The gray, I want it to kind of blend in from the foundations that I use, so I'm going to use the Gainsborough wall, the corner, and I'll do that for all 4 sides. So if you're trying to come up with something and you have no ideas, just start slow, place a piece. We'll definitely need a spot for a door. And I don't mind the charcoal tan walls, so I think I'm gonna use the one. I want to put these in right here. I do like the apartment window. That's looking pretty snazzy with the trim. Might have to go with that right above. On this door corner, I'm gonna take out the granite one, and I'm gonna put an umber wall. And then at the bottom, I'm gonna place another umber wall. And like this. By now, you already know what we're about to do. You should have an umber half wall. Go ahead and finish this off. Next, we're trying to make it look like it's fanning out here. So if on each side, you take a foundation and you go flush side by side, and then point the next one at the middle somewhere, and then nudge it over so there's some space. 1, maybe 2 studs, you can decide. But making sure that it's even. You can make this go up to your desired height, and then grab any size rustic beams and go ahead and finish it off. You can go up a little bit higher. You can jut out to the side. You can stay even with the previous piece, or you could take it up even higher. My rule of thumb is try not to leave too many open gaps and make the spread of branches kind of look even. Like, let's say you're putting up an artificial Christmas tree and you've got to fan the branches. It's essentially doing the same thing, trying to make sure that everything's even. You want to pay attention to this kind of space, not only in between the branches, but in a vertical sense as well. Sometimes a branch might hang over, but do they all hang over? Depending on the tree. A willow tree definitely acts that way. And to get that sort of hang, we'd need like a half wall. And so I'd want to pay attention to the space between the dangling branches and also the vertical space. Not every branch is going to be hanging that high. Some of them might only be short, and those are likely going to be the ones on the outside. So you want to kind of mix and match how you're placing your pieces. Now I also need some on the top so that the tree can also go up a little. Making sure that only I pay attention to the space in between the pieces, so none of them are really lined up or kind of off-centered, but also the heights of these, making sure that they're not all stopping in the same spot. And when I'm satisfied and it passes the eye test, I move on to the next spot. Now I'm going to continue to show every single piece that I place on this tree, so if you want to keep copying it exactly, you can, but hopefully I was able to give you a little inspiration. Now there's some other stuff you can add on the tree to give it some more depth, but we're just gonna leave it like this. It looks nice and dead, which is exactly what we're going for. We do want to fill out the bottom though, so using the same techniques, go ahead and build yourself some roots. Go up a couple here, move it over a couple. If you've ever seen roots in a forest, you know what this looks like. They're not straight lines, they're kind of going here, there, and everywhere. So make the most of all the pieces to get the shape that you desire. Some things are best starting from the bottom, and some details are best starting from the top. Over time though, you'll get a feel for what works best for you. But if you were able to follow that, you now have yourself a beautiful dead tree. We want to add our steps. We're going to go with the rough gray half stairs, the one with the floor piece on it. That's going to allow for us to build some sort of awning here. So next we want to take the stately staircase or the stair railing, and then we actually want to go ahead and grab the fire escape railing, and we're going to build these up. Maybe take them down a level here. We're gonna grab the rough charcoal floor, and we're gonna nudge this in until we can get this right on top of the floor. So it looks like we only have to do one. We're gonna take a wood slat thin floor, a 12x2, an 8x2, nudging it to the other side of the red pole, as well as the 6x2, and we're gonna bring those Gainsborough wall corners up. Let's bring our wall up one here. It should end up flush just like this on the top if you put those wood slats underneath. I went with a regular tan wall above this window, but then over here we'll need a window, so we're gonna fill this in with whatever piece fits for us. This gap will have to be filled in, so we'll take the tan wall and we'll get that in there, and then we'll bring up our corners one more time. If all goes well, this corner should be level, even being placed on the tree. On this first floor, we're gonna throw a window down. We're gonna fill in the gap, and it looks like we'll actually be getting rid of this piece right here, these floors, because they are actually not needed on this other side. So we'll throw, and right there we'll actually put the elegant facade, giving that wall a little bit of flair. Maybe we'll do one right here as well. Yes, I like that. And then on the bottom, we could do one over here. Yes, I like that a lot. I think I'm also gonna add one to the middle here. So taking stairway wall number 2, we'll put one on each side. We do need a plain side though. So we're gonna go ahead and fill in a side nice and plain here. I don't want that trim at all over here because I wanna do some detailing with granite on the side. So let's stack up some tan walls here, just making these pieces fit. If we want a window on this side of the building, I'm sure that decision will be made once we get inside and start decorating. In the back, we're gonna need some stairs to go into the backyard. Feel free to build yourself a fence. I'll be blending these in. I'll be doing a blend on the side of this foundation anyways with these pieces. So I'm actually gonna use it as my fence for the backyard. Now, I didn't give myself enough room here, but if you give yourself a flat enough spot, you can go ahead and build yourself a backyard. I'm gonna take the fire escape railing and just point it in the middle of this. And we'll place one, and then another Gainsborough half wall, followed by one more fence. I'll actually have to nudge this one into place so that I can keep it even. And then using the other one, I'll have to freehand this one to get it level instead of snapping it, and then nudge another half wall on over. Now it might not reach all the way over, but as long as you have it level, you can place one down onto the fence and then just use that one as a means to get the correct one into place. Now that our backyard is set, let's go see if we have any lights to place out here. It looks like we do, but I can't seem to get them in the middle. So what I want to do then is place a balloon in between two of the posts. And then I'm gonna point the primary side lamp at this balloon, and it should go over half of the balloon. That's how you know it's working. And then we're gonna pull it up, making sure our cursor stays on the balloon. We're gonna move it over, maybe move it down, and then it should go green if you have it in the right spot. And then we can just nudge it on over to the other post and get these set right in the middle. This might take some practice, it might not. There we go. Now we have some nice lights for our outside. We're obviously gonna need stairs in a place like this, but I want them steep so we can get up to the second floor as fast as possible. So going over until we're lined up with the corner, that gray corner, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, making sure this is right on the edge here. We're then going to use the rough charcoal floor for our flooring. You're going to have to place it above the lip that's on the wall, and then we're going to fill this in with that charcoal flooring. You might have to grab some 8x2s in some spots and fill those in like that. And now we're just trying to fill in the walls. So we need to put a door here. I'm going to go with the charcoal tan door again. I'm going to put that wood slat thin floor on top of it. And then I'd like to add some of these thin windows up top. So one, and even one on the third floor. I'll fill in the rest of this, but the focus is still the bottom floor. A window to see out into the yard right here would be a good thing. I'm thinking maybe we put the kitchen on the bottom floor. I want that red trim just like I had on the other side. So I'm gonna place the red brick wall corner all the way up to the top. And then in between, I'm gonna use stairway wall. On the second floor, for now, I don't think I'm gonna want any sort of window. So I'm just gonna fill it in with whatever pieces that I have. So over here, I'm actually gonna remove this wall. Remembering that we've got these elegant facades and they look beautiful. They add some nice texture. We're gonna try to alternate these on the way up. You'll notice I don't always stay on task. Sometimes taking it in a different direction helps me figure out the problem that might be right in front of me. Maybe I'm having a creative block on a certain part of the project. If I just go elsewhere, a lot of the times, the thing that I'm struggling with just kind of falls into place. On this tree area, there's not gonna be a whole lot of windows. So we're definitely just gonna be filling this in with some tan walls. And on the very corner, I'm gonna throw the elegant 4x12. On my second floor, well, I've got the tree to thank for some of my wall. We're just gonna go ahead and throw a tan wall number 5. Now I'm taking the smallest apartment window. I'm placing a facade next to it, and then just a regular tan wall. We can go ahead and get rid of this, and we can add in some sort of branch detail here. So going back to my umber half wall, I'll maybe place one right there, and then I'll go into the supports and I'll use the rustic beam to start off that root look, and then we'll actually finish it off with just some acres flooring, or any of the sugi floors as well will work. But you're just making that root feel within the home. Gonna actually end up closing this up. Now I actually don't like the way that the tree looks with the wall, but first I want to add a little bit more branch to the middle of the tree here, making them as high as I want, just kind of placing them in random spots and making sure that they're a little bit spread out. And then on the inside, I'm just gonna take an umber half wall, and that's gonna add just a little bit more depth. I pretty much just want to fill in the top wall here. Let's just throw a medium window here, the 12x12. Now I want to extend this tree's presence on the inside, but first we've got to get the third floor going here. Let's take a charcoal floor, the 8x8, and on top of one of those ridges, we'll throw one down, and we'll put the fire escape stairs going up. And now I'll go ahead and add that depth, those branches that I want to add. Feel free to add any more pieces or just copy exactly what I'm doing. Now I just want to fill in the floor with the necessary pieces. I could probably put one 8x8 like this and do the same thing over here as well. Yeah, I'll even add an 8x2 to the sides. So now we have second floor, a third floor, and the first floor. So let's take the rough Gainsborough floor like the 16x16 and let's do 4 of those. I'm gonna put the gray roof trim on the corners. I was not prepared for the roof. Using all of these pieces, I can fill it in perfectly, it looks like. So I'll place one of these up top here. Looks like I can put one over that window as well. Can I place one here? Just check something here. Yeah, that's what's holding us back. So we'll take this wall out and we'll place a normal one. And then we'll move over, especially over here as well too. Looks like we'll just place 2 normal walls like this and just try to fill in this gap. Ah, okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll just fill it in. And now we should be able to add one of these down here. You can leave your roof like this if you want, I guess. Now, I know nobody asked, but the reason why we're leaving this tree dead is because that way we can maybe do different things for different seasons or different times of year, like something spooky for Halloween, or maybe we want to light it up with lights for Christmas, or maybe I just didn't want to put on all the leaf pieces. I'm gonna let you decide. Either way, this is looking great so far, but we've got a little bit more to do. The fear of something not looking good is perfectly valid, but how will you know how to make it look better without placing that first piece? You don't have to be able to place every single piece here the way that I'm able to place it. Because let's be real, do you guys really think I'm planning out where these pieces were gonna go? Or does it look more like I'm guessing? The friendly neighborhood house. Now, I'm not going to show you guys how I place the decor. There's not a lot of options when you're talking about decorating different types of rooms with just this decor set. So I used a few other pieces, but feel free to pause the video on each room and enjoy the friendly neighborhood house showcase, guys. Hope you guys made it this far. And if you did, give yourselves another pat on the back for making it through another Flocka tutorial. Smack that like button. It's going to help me out a lot. Take it easy, everybody, and I'll see you in the next one.